Kobe, did you hear that this thing?
Finch!
Oh wait, not yet. You have to wait for the mist.
I didn't know.
Well, there you go, folks. What's going on? My name is Barry,
This is Colby.
and this is Who Watches This.
Colby screwed it up. We won't start over. We'll go with it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Welcome back, guys, to the second week of Christmas month.
Christmas. I made sure this one was a little more Christmassy than the last one.
Yeah, you know what? I laugh at that, but it is pretty Christmassy.
Yes.
Oh man. What a great pick though for this week. I was like, you see the budget, but you see this is a movie that has a small budget, but they're like, we know where to put the budget in.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, Kobe, before we go ahead and divulge what the movie's gonna be, how did you come across this?
I remember it when it came out. I didn't see it or anything, but I remember when it came out in theaters, it was like just a little short stint, and I was like, oh man, I wish I would have seen that. And then it was just it felt like it was gone. And so when I was just kind of looking for Christmas movies and I saw it, I was like, what? Tubi, I love you.
Again, Tubi really is the digital mom and pop's VHS store. It gives
100%.
It gives the indie film creator the platform.
Yep.
But I'm also surprised because like this movie is 3 years old and I never heard about it. Like I'm kind of mad about that. I watch so many movie reviewers on YouTube and I'm so sad that not one of them was like, oh, I bet you haven't seen this one. And
right.
I guess those are the shoes that we're trying to fill. But you know what?
Yeah. Well, I'll let you like introduce it, but it felt like there was a little genre, and this was the very beginning, so it kind of got like missed. And yeah. as that little genre kind of like exploded into popularity.
You know, and I gotta say, like, you know, maybe 2026 is the year we start putting these things up on YouTube. As far as like the virtual or not the virtual, but the visual, I feel like it's probably a long time coming.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, let's go into our Mr. Movie trailer. This was kind of hard, but you know, I was like, well, let me just try. Something is stirring this Christmas. 20 years ago, Cindy did not see Mommy kissing Santa Claus under the mistletoe. Now the town of Whoville doesn't celebrate Christmas. Will she be able to bring back that Christmas cheer? Or will the only emotion left be fear? Let's find out in 2022's The Mean One.
Finch!
I was like, so you said it too early. Oh, man. But yeah, we're going to be talking about the 2022 indie film, The Mean One. Kobe, I did not recognize any actor in this movie. Did you?
So, the guy who plays the Mean One is David Howard Thornton. So he's the same actor who plays Art the Clown.
Oh.
You didn't recognize him because he is always in costume. And neither one of them do they talk. So it's not like, I recognize his voice.
Oh, well,
but
no,
yes.
This one did. A little bit.
Minimal. Yeah,
yeah,
you're right.
But I mean, it wouldn't have helped because Art doesn't talk either. But yeah, go ahead.
And then Cindy, she's been in some things, but she is actually much more well known as a stunt person.
Oh.
She's she has a lot of stunt credits.
Okay, so like the montage makes sense.
Yes, yeah.
Oh man, yeah, I gotta say though, like in this movie I would it's very sci-fi level. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
if sci-fi had like a streaming service, I could see this being a part of like too gory for TV. Oh man, but yeah, let's go ahead and start talking about this movie because this movie is only an hour and 30 minutes. It's a very tight, hour and 30. But this movie opens up with a drone shot of Whoville draped in Christmas cheer. Every home is lit up,
Yeah,
every porch decorated,
yeah.
and every child trying to sneak a peek at the big jolly man. Unfortunately for Cindy, right now it sounds like I wrote this.
I, it did. Yeah, I'm like you.
I
You have
wrote
some
it
writing
down.
credit.
Unfortunately for Cindy, she did not get to see the Jolly Red Man or the Jolly Man in Red. I don't know how to. I'm about to say Jolly Green Giant. Oh well, she did see a Jolly Green. No, not a really Jolly Green guy, but she ends up seeing a green guy. And in a kid's mind, you're in the Santa outfit, and you're like, oh okay.
Right.
And so
And
yeah, good.
it's Santa stealing her presents.
But she approaches Santa, or who we assume to be Santa, and is like, it's a sweet moment. She's like, "You're Santa. You're a good guy, right?"
Yep.
And like, there's like a filter, like a dreamy dreamscape filter, and it seems all good until Mommy comes downstairs, and she's like, "Oh my God, Cindy, get upstairs!" And she's like,
There's a monster.
"Get away, you monster! Get away!" And they get into like a little scuffle. And unfortunately, one of, I assume, is like the boards from the something. Is it like a toy or a
I thought it was.
decoration?
I thought it was a nutcracker that like had fallen and like its sword, because the
Yeah.
nutcracker usually carries the sword.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that tips over and she ends up falling on the sword,
Yeah.
which ends up killing her mom, which Cindy does see. And conflicted, but ultimately, obviously siding with your parent, she screams out, "Monster!"
Yep.
And then we hard cut to 20 years later. Cindy's back. She's back in Whoville.
Right.
The car's decked out in like some reindeer outfit. And the dad is like, "Hey, are you sure you want to be here? Your therapist." And she's like, "My therapist said it would be good for me to come here and close down this chapter of my life. And hopefully all the PTSD that I'm suffering from will kind of like quell itself."
Right.
But they seem to have a really good relationship. They're in ugly Christmas sweaters. And they're really just talking, having like a nice little trip down memory lane until a police officer pulls them over. And he's like, "Well, what could this be for?" And what is the officer's name?
Um, Deputy Burke.
Yeah, Deputy Burke is like, "Hey, unfortunately, you got all this Christmas stuff on your car, and the sheriff says that's not allowed. It's very distracting. It could, cause an accident." They're like, "Wow, okay, I guess." Deputy Burke though is kind of throwing some hard eyes at Cindy.
Yeah.
Dad is like, "Hey, keep that baton away from my daughter."
And in a clever, like, Dr. Seussy way, her name is Cindy. Her dad's name is Lou. So it's
Oh,
like the Cindy Lou. Who?
yeah, yeah. There's tons of callback from this Dr. Seuss classic. We even have a narrator doing like the little Dr. Seuss type of narration.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and then so like you kind of get a glimpse of this town. You see the sheriff, and he is kind of like, yeah, no Christmas shit over here. Uh, you see like this mayor. She's just like, she's running for. I was like, who's opposing you in this small town? You know what I mean? I always feel like
Right.
small towns have mayors for like ever. Until that mayor's like, hey, we gotta kick him out. I know he's been mayor for like the past 30 years, but he's pretty racist.
Right. Yeah. Let's ask him to retire.
Yeah, tastefully, let's get him out of that chair, not disgruntled. You know what I mean? Minority families started moving in, so we gotta clean this up. But yeah, no, and so like, Cindy and Lou, they start to decorate the house. Like Lou's like, can you believe there's no decorations anywhere? What happened to Newville?
Right. Yeah. And he's just like, yeah, the shop owner was just like, nobody celebrates down here, so nobody carries any
Yeah, which is like,
Christmas paraphernalia.
Which is crazy because like, as like somebody who's only ever really lived in cities, I always feel like small towns like fucking kill it during Christmas.
Right. Yeah.
It looks like a goddamn postcard, what I always assume for small towns. So he's like, yeah, this is weird, but thankfully we still got the Christmas stuff from the Christmas your mom died. And like when Burke is talking to the sheriff, there's a little bit of like a flashback of like, that was the only murder I couldn't solve. And then you talked to Cindy, but then she kept showing me a picture of Grinch.
Right. Yeah. Of a green monster.
Yeah.
So he's like, so I couldn't track anybody down because I never had a good eyewitness account.
And like you see like the sheriff kind of like gaslighting her, like, Cindy, I found this like green ski mask outside. It had to be a person. She's like, yeah, I guess. She's like what, 7?
Right. Yeah.
7 or 8. So your
She
mind
knows.
Yeah, but like your mind also still tries to like protect itself. Like that's not a real thing. It must have been a person.
Yeah.
But so yeah, later that night they end up celebrating Christmas. They got all the lights up. They're drinking like eggnog, which I still find super gross. Like I don't.
You just not putting enough booze in it.
Yeah, Colby's the guy's like, if it tastes nasty, you got to put more booze.
Right. Yeah. That was always my, like, if you go to a bar and you order a drink and it's bad, you just got to like chug it so that you can order a better drink.
Well, we don't waste drinks.
Right. Oh yeah, no.
See, that's why you gotta.
This is terrible. Drink it fast.
See, this is why you gotta. If you're drinking alcohol, you just stick with what you know. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, and it seems like everything's fine. The Christmas is kind of, they're doing Christmas right. But they're kind of ending the night, and so Lou and Cindy, they rock, paper, scissors, who's going to take out the trash?
Yeah.
And Cindy loses, but she leaves the door open, which, again, mistake number 1. You never leave the door open.
Right.
Because you never know who's going to come a-creeping.
You're in a wooded area. Like, you don't leave the door open just because you don't want like a squirrel or a raccoon running into your house.
Exactly. Unfortunately, the door closes and Cindy's like, Dad, stop pranking me. Unfortunately, Dad is preoccupied fighting off the Grinch, or the mean one.
The mean one.
Yeah, I don't think we're allowed to say the Grinch, right? They never say it. That's why we got the Finch.
Right. Yep.
And this really solidified that she was like, oh, I wasn't hallucinating or anything. This shit is fucking real. Because the mean one ends up killing her dad in the most, I guess not the most, but in a very gruesome way.
Yeah.
Gosh. And so, like, she calls the cops and they're like, oh man, she's at it again. She's trying to...
and she kind of wakes up in the like, and you're like, oh, was that a dream? And then she like kind of goes to pull the sheet off, and she's in a hospital gown, and you're like, oh no.
No. Yeah, cops are around her asking her questions like, who was it? Oh, please, Cindy, don't say it was the mean one again. It must have been that guy who killed your mom from 20 years ago, and he's been keeping tabs on you. And so Burke is kind of like, oh, this is nuts. And so...
Yeah.
So, like, in this movie, like, Cindy and Burke end up sort of forming, like, a bond because she's, like, really trying to figure out what's going on, what this thing is.
Right.
And she's kind of, like, dragging Burke along. Well, Burke is, like, again, has a crush on her. So
smitten, yeah.
Yeah, so he tags along. And
he's been in town for a couple months, so he doesn't really know the lore. And he... a couple times make the comment that he's Jewish. So then he's also like a step away from the Christmas danger.
Yeah, she's like, hey, I only know about them 8 nights, you know? Yeah, a lot of Jew jokes in this movie. Like, you know, like a lot of like nose stuff. Like, okay, you know? All right, fine.
I felt that that was their way to like give him more of an excuse to not know.
Yeah, to not really be not to be accustomed to like anything Christmassy. And he's like, oh cool, right. No, he's like, you guys don't celebrate Christmas? Cool, I'll fire up the brisket. Because man, yeah, those Jewish people know how to do a brisket. Yeah. But yeah, no, so Cindy starts to really delve deeper into this whole situation. She's like looking, she's what's it called, she sees that there's like a whole bunch of missing cases, and so she decides like, well, I think this thing lives in the mountains, because that's what her research went.
And she finds a smashed flower in her house, and she's like, oh, this is a rare flower that only lives on
this hiking trail,
Lupu Hill or whatever, it's the Lupu flower on the Lupu Hill.
Yeah, and so she decides to like go there with like a little tour group, and guys, she catches a glimpse of it.
Yeah.
And you know, and like throughout this like movie, like anytime you see anybody trying to do anything Christmas, it like pops up.
Yeah.
You know, very good. I watched this twice, and I'm like, this movie felt like a fever dream. So like it's really mixed up in my head. So Colby, just like chime in anytime. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go out of chronological order for this movie. But no, so she decides, she starts printing up flyers, and like she shows Burke, and Burke is like, it's kind of hard to see.
Right, because she's taking a picture of the mean one, but it is like a blurry Bigfoot kind of style picture. It's like, I can't tell if that's a person or a tree branch in front of your camera, or
it could
what
be
that
anything,
is.
right? And so, but we find out like the mayor does not like this.
Right.
She is like, I'm running for re-election, and this
we can't have
stop.
This girl talking about Christmas murders again. That's going to make this town look terrible.
And we're already struggling as it is. And like she's talking to the sheriff, and the sheriff seems to know a little bit more than he's been leading on to Deputy Burke.
Right.
It's funny though. I like how they aged him up, because like in the flashbacks, he has no beard, but he has the mustache, and then like, and then we cut to him present day. He has a beard and it's just a little bit of gray, but like face is still the same. No like wrinkles or anything like that.
Right. Because he was just a deputy at the time that the first murder happened.
Yeah, but like, you know, this guy seems like he's pretty stressed, and he's like always yelling at Burke. He's like, I'm just trying to protect this town, damn it. You know, it's like, I'm trying to protect this town and the people in it.
Yes.
That's like his like little catchphrase. And so as Cindy is trying to like put up flyers, the mayor's taking it down, and the sheriff talks to her. He's like, hey, like, listen, like this isn't like a thing. This is just a guy that's like been like, maybe he's been following you and he's like mad that he never finished the business.
Right? Yeah. It's easy just to blame her. It's her fault.
Yeah, he's like,
And then,
good.
and then it's also about this time, right, that you get the Christmas cosplayers.
Yeah. So as she's like going through the town, like putting up these flyers, everyone's telling her that she's crazy. All of a sudden, we cut to like this van of Christmas Santas.
Right, in
Like,
a neighboring town.
In a neighboring town, regular Santas, sexy Santas, guys in like those fucking inflatable like suits.
Christmas trees, suits,
yeah. The one that like if you fart next to it, the air sucks it up and puts it in a suit. And this does not bode well for them, because when they go into a little truck stop diner, they're already hammered, which like the driver is like so annoyed.
Yeah.
And then they harass this like poor like waitress. But then she was like, "Hey, the kitchen is closed." I was like, "Girl, it's like 3 p.m. What do you mean the kitchen is closed?" Maybe it was close to Christmas Eve, maybe. You know what I mean? But they're like, "We only got drinks and we only have iced tea." And one Santa is like, he's the Billy Bob Thornton of the group. He's the bad Santa. He's like getting super handsy with this girl.
Yeah.
He even followed. I was like, man, this guy's gonna catch a charge. He even follows her to the kitchen, and she ends up like elbowing him in the face. Which I was like, this girl's, yeah, she knows how to work.
She's dealt with
handsy patrons. But then when she turns around, something is dragging this guy into the cooler.
Yeah.
And so she goes to look, which I was like, girl, you got to get your survival instincts up. This dude's he's been like domed in the face, and then she gets locked into the cooler, and oh my gosh, like just one big massacre of Santas.
Yes.
Like pretty gruesome deaths.
This is the Art the Clown, killing spree. Very creative kills, and there's 15 people in the room.
I feel the worst for like the black girl in there, because I was like, why was that the most gruesome death? Like he head stomps her head. And then, kind of like, what you do when you're drying your shoes off when you're going into a place? I was like, oh my God, dude. What the hell?
Yeah.
The mean one is racist. God, yeah. And then the driver is like, what the hell is going on? He doesn't kill the waitress.
Right.
Which I was like, well, she's a bit of a Grinch too, well, possibly, she's also just like super over this job.
Right, and she definitely does not have the Christmas spirit.
Yeah. So like, and the what's it called? The shuttle driver, he opens the door, he's like throws up. So this news catches the sheriff and Deputy Burke.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the hell, man? And the sheriff's like, Jesus, it's starting all over again ever since that girl came back. Oh my God.
And Cindy's like, well, you should go see if there's any witnesses. And sheriff's just like, no, it's a different district than us. We don't have any jurisdiction.
Yeah,
they'll take care of it.
And Cindy's been getting hit with that line throughout this whole movie. She's right, like, state police. Try to question the girl up in the mountain when she gets the Bigfoot picture, and they're like, "No, that's the national parks jurisdiction. We're not going to ask her anything." Yeah. There's a crash. That's highway patrol. It's out of our jurisdiction. And she's like she's getting pretty pissed at this point, and then she almost gets attacked by the mean one again. But then this is where we got introduced to Doc.
Dr. Zeus.
Dr. Zeus. Which is, I gotta say, a pretty epic name.
It's clever. It's clever.
I tell you, if I had my own practice, it'd be like on the business card would be a Thunderbolt and Mount Olympus. But like Doc is telling Cindy's like, "Hey, this thing killed my wife 15 years ago." And like this guy's super boozy, but then she's also at she's also at a point where she's believing it.
Right. And Doc feels like talking to Doc, it feels like this is the first person who's actually believed her, who's not just like, no, just some guy in a mask killed your parents. This is the first guy who's like, no, this isn't a person. This is a beast.
Right. And so she kind of like, what's it called? He also follows her up the mountain because Cindy ends up finding his little cove.
Yeah.
Right? But she ends up kind of leaving pretty quick, and Doc was like, "Well, you can't go in there without any weapons, Jesus Christ!" And he shows his trunk, which looks like Sam and Dean's trunk from Supernatural. It is like armed to the teeth. And so like Cindy's like, "Fuck this! I'm tired of being scared. I'm tired of running away. Christmas isn't his." And so we get like this. It's like a super corny montage because she like ties up like a Grinch like life-size model and she's like boxing it.
Yeah, like a punching bag.
Yeah, and she's doing like push-ups, pull-ups,
sharpening a candy cane like a giant candy cane.
Yeah, she's like twirling it around like some tonfas. It's kind of cringy, but it's like whatever. Meanwhile, Burke has like what's it called? I forgot what event happened where he finally was like, "Oh, this shit is real."
Well, because she comes back and she had found some wallets.
Oh yeah.
And he looks up, and the wallets are people who end up being like missing persons.
Oh yeah, and
so he's like, "Oh well, I'll go look where she had that and see if I can find anything."
Yeah, and he brushes real close with death.
Right.
Yeah, he really should have died in there.
And I didn't recognize it the first time.
Yeah.
But the second time I watched this, he kneels on like a little stuffed animal and it starts to play Christmas music.
Yeah.
And he's like panicking because like way down at the end of the cave is the main one and he doesn't want to play. But the second time I watched it, I was like, this stuffed animal is Max, the dog from the Grinch cartoon.
Oh man, yeah, and like so, and then he again gets pulled away from Doc, and he also shows Burke his little fucking armory. Right. He's like, oh, "Do you have licenses for these?" He's like, "Nope."
The question isn't if I have license for these; is do you have your own guns?
Yeah. Yeah, and so what's it called? But like Burke is still like he's really delving deep into like everything that's happening, and then we all of a sudden get a cut from the sheriff because now the sheriff is like, "There's way too many people dying. There's no way I can cover all of this up." So he goes to visit the mayor.
Right.
And he's like, "Yo," like, and this is kind of like where we actually learn that the sheriff knows about the main one. He's seen it. He's actually went toe to toe with it.
Right.
But he just couldn't put him away. And so, like, when he's talking to the mayor, he's like, "Oh, where you going, mayor?" She's like, "I'm going to go to Lake Tahoe for, to visit my sisters."
Right. And then you kind of get the story that she used to be part of the police force before she ran for mayor. So she also knows. And it's this whole, like, we're trying to keep the town safe. But they're doing it by, like, if we remove everything Christmas, there's doesn't ever give the Grinch an excuse to come down from the mountain.
Yeah, and then this is where we learn also that they had a fucking... Oh, no, that's a little bit later. But yeah, no, and then, like, I gotta say, probably, like, the best line in the movie, because the sheriff is like, the truth will come with the light of day, or something like that. And she's like, extend the night. I was like, oh, all right. That sounds like something a police captain would say to his like rogue cop.
Yeah. Yep.
As she dips out of there, and then Cindy finds out, like, well, Burke finds out, like, there's a little bit of a tie-in with all of the missing hikers. And so she finally is able to not kind of, but she's able to track down the IP address, and she finds out it's coming from the sheriff's office, or is it the mayor's? No, the mayor's.
Yeah.
So her and Burke go to confront the sheriff, and she's like, "Is there something that you want to say to us? Is there something that you're doing?" And he kind of spills the beans pretty fast. He's like, well, it's not really, okay, like, yeah, we didn't know how to deal with the mean one, so we thought if we kept feeding it stuff that's in Christmas garb, that, we could just, throw a couple sacrifices that way, and, the town would be safe, because that's my number one duty, is to protect the town and the people of this town.
Right, yep.
And they're like, oh my God, well, you're some sort of monster. And he says it again. He's like, I did everything I need to do to protect this town. Meanwhile, we cut to the mayor, and she is stranded with car trouble. And unfortunately for her, that also means that her radio is glitching, and it starts playing Christmas music. And the Grinch or the mean one
somebody hears that.
Yeah, the mean one comes, chops off her head. And, oh gosh, like, puts, like, a little mayor sticker over her mouth. Oh, I gotta say, okay, there's, like, it's a pretty insignificant scene. I felt like it was just there to pass some time. But a restaurant guy ends up getting a bunch of Christmas stuff instead of the bell peppers. And the Grinch sees that. And he's, like, sneaking around in the Grinch style, where he's, like, on his little fingertips and tiptoes. Yep. I was like, that's great, that's great. And probably, like, the most practical effect kill in this movie, because he starts chopping his body up, and I was like, oh God, oh, that is pretty gruesome. But what's it called? Burke is like, hey, we're gonna figure this out. It's better to forgive than to seek vengeance. And Cindy's like, oh, it's really easy to talk from your position. All right, I'm tired of being scared, and I'm going to get revenge for my mom and my dad.
Yup.
And so Burke is he's still trying to find some evidence to kind of indict the sheriff and the mayor. But she's like, nope, she sets a trap for the mean one. And it's like the most, like, she might as well have just put a billboard, like, this is a trap for you, mean one. But she has Doc as backup, though.
Right.
And so they're, like, duking it out. I don't know why she has a shotgun that's been spray painted into a candy cane.
It's to make it extra Christmassy.
to really drag it on. But they're like, what's it called? Meanwhile, Burke is like, I have to actually finish this. And so, like, what's it called? He goes into, like, the cave, trying to find, I don't know, more wallets, more evidence, or trying to kill the Grinch.
Right.
And he starts, like, trying to sing Christmas carols, but he's like, I'm Jewish, I don't know him. So he's like, dreidel, 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 I made you out of clay. And, yeah, they duke it out, though. They duke it out. He ends up getting pretty injured. And he like, tells, like, Sydney's like, I think it has to be you. Again, another pretty insignificant scene, but, like, they end up, I think, like, having sex. But that might have just been in Cindy's mind. I think it wasn't just in Cindy's mind.
I think it was
right?
a dream. Yeah.
Yeah, because then, like, the mean one all of a sudden tries to psycho them in the shower. But yeah, no. So, like, yeah, we get a pretty good fight. Doc is, like, being the little sniper for Cindy. Unfortunately, the mean one sees Doc and fucks him up. Not enough to kill him, because Cindy gets out of there and just chases him down. But Doc gets pretty fucked up. And so, like, they go back into the house, like, because that's where all of her traps are. Yeah.
And the Grinch gets shot a couple times, like, and he pretty resilient. You see, you're like, you're it's clear if he is killable.
All right, exactly. Yeah, he takes a couple shots from Deputy Burke. That's what happened. Oh, and then that's okay. Deputy Burke escapes the cave because the sheriff comes, and the sheriff ends up sacrificing himself for Burke.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Which, I mean, hey, it's a good way for him to like redeem himself. Sort of. I mean, still 20 years did go by, 20 years worth of missing people, but, whatever.
Right.
But they get into this huge, like with Cindy and like the mean one, they're like scuffling around, they're getting licks off of each other until Cindy finally gets the upper hand on the mean one. And this is like probably the first time the mean one is like scared.
Yeah.
Because he knows he's about to get killed. But Cindy like puts her heart or her hand over his heart, and she feels like a beating heart. And like they kind of cut back to like the flashback of when Cindy was super nice to the Grinch. And so she again caresses like his cheek, gives him a peck on the cheek.
Well, because also when she was a kid, she gave him like a necklace with like a little toy Santa on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what she sees and makes her stop.
And then he still has it on.
And she's like, why? Why? And then like kind of a flashback of like him, being a Grinch, but non-violent, just stealing presents or whatever. But I think what really hurt him was like the little girl that had been nice to him ends up calling him a monster.
Yeah.
And so he's like, if you think I'm a monster, I'll become one. And so she mimics the actions that she did as a child, and then she puts like her hand over his heart again, and it's like beating more rapidly. It's like, and then the Grinch yells at her to run, and he turns upside down, so he's like now facing downwards, and his chest explodes.
Yeah.
She's like, well, what the fuck? And then the narrative is like, and that night his heart grew 3 times.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, yeah. If your
just like
heart grew 3 times, it would kind of burst out of your chest.
I mean, yeah, that's what was happening to John Q's son in the John Q movie, and so we kind of cut forward maybe like 2 weeks, and the whole town is decked out in Christmas gear. Everyone seems to be like, oh, Christmas, it's okay now, we're safe. The picture that she had taken of the mean one is now spread through all of like national news. A whole bunch of people are like wanting to come because now they want to see the Grinch.
Right, they're coming to like a Bigfoot hunt.
And I gotta say, like, this little montage of the ending, it's a bunch of stock footage. It is all stock footage, It's like families are moving into Whoville because it's like renewed. It's like a Christmas spirit. And Burke and Cindy are talking, and they're like, oh, no one's ever going to know. She's like, yeah, the feds, they took the body away.
Right.
And
they
I guess
cleaned up all the evidence.
Yeah, and they erased all the photos and all that stuff. So that's crazy. And Doc is like, he's still drinking. He's still a drunk. Yeah. Killing the Grinch didn't fill the heart that he's been trying to fill with alcohol. So, and it seems like everything is good. Like they have like the end of the movie kiss and all that stuff. Unfortunately, it's not, because the narrator's like, everything is safe for this year. Oh man, before we get to talk about the rest of the movie and our thoughts, let's go to our other section: high star and low star.
I was worried, but there's a handful of 10s.
Yeah.
So we got a 10 out of 10. Okay, hear me out. So first things first, I feel like people who are leaving lower reviews went in with different expectations on what kind of movie this is. I would hold it up there with classics like Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I'm telling you, this is the best Christmas movie I've ever seen. I get that it isn't the style that everybody enjoys, but I implore you, this movie is a great watch. I've recommended this to friends who hesitate to watch horror, and they've enjoyed it, uh, which in the end is all that really matters. People are allowed to enjoy things. Also, David Howard Thornton is amazing in everything he does, and I will die on this hill.
We got a 1 out of 10. Embarrassing. Acting is very poor by many of them. Constant camera filters are annoying. Attempt at comedy fails, and the special effects, I wouldn't even call it that. I never had so much I'm able to say about a movie whilst also being completely lost for words. Why Netflix have bought the rights to this movie is beyond me. I didn't know that. Yeah, this movie's pretty old. I can only assume it came free when they bought another title. It would cost more to buy this on DVD than the production company spent on it. If you're looking for something creepy and Christmas themed, I would suggest Miracle on 34th Street. Do yourself a favor and don't bother. I gotta say, okay, the acting, it wasn't really great, but the special effects were pretty good.
And they were. It was a lot of practical. They threw a little bit of CGI on top of some of the practical, and I don't know if they necessarily needed to, but it was. Yeah. It seemed mostly practical, and everybody who watches has to know that we're fans of that.
Yeah, I mean, and the CG that they used too, it was pretty much just part for the blood splatter. It wasn't too bad.
Right.
The one that was pretty egregious was the when the Christmas tree was on fire. I was like, you guys couldn't set a Christmas tree on fire? This is where we draw the line at. But I gotta say, the makeup for the Grinch was really good.
It was really good, yeah.
It looked better than the Jim Carrey Grinch. It was kind of crazy because it's the facial expressions that what's the actor's name?
David Howard Thornton.
Yeah, it really came through on the practical makeup of the mean one.
Right, just with Art the Clown, he conveyed a awful lot of non-verbal dialogue with his face, and they did the same thing in this.
Yeah, man, I gotta say that was probably one of the highlights of it for me, and I like that they didn't really change too much on the look of the mean one.
Right
because it kind of just looked like the Dr. Seuss drawing, which we're pretty used to them horrifying things, with Blood and Honey, with the Mickey Mouse ones, the Steamboat Willie,
yeah,
Alice, what was it called, the Cinderella one, which that wasn't really anything, but I thought that was probably the highlight of the film. That practical makeup was amazing. Because I was that looked super high budget. And it was so detailed, you could see him crinkle his nose.
Right, yeah, it wasn't just a prosthetic mask. It was well done makeup.
Yeah. The one thing I was theorizing though was when she first saw the Grinch at the beginning when she was a kid. In my head, I was oh, I think that is Santa. And the mom comes downstairs and she's oh fuck, there's a stranger in the house, and she calls him a monster, and I was in my head is her calling her, the mom a monster, and the mean one accidentally killing the mom, and then the daughter calling him monster. I thought it would have been really cool if it was Santa, but because of all the events that happened, he transformed into the Grinch.
Right. That would have been.
Yeah, I thought
would have been an interesting twist. Yeah.
I thought that's where they were going, so I was pretty high for it. And I was oh, it was just the Grinch. Kobe, what did you like about the movie?
I, I, I certainly loved there was some creative kills, and they let the blood fly, especially in that like little scene, the little diner scene with all the Santas.
Yeah.
I thought that was great, but I thought it was it wasn't just like a mindless we got the rights to this, let's go ahead and do it, or this is now
Like
no
public
longer
domain.
as public domain. Let's just be the first people to like throw some trash out, so that we can um like kind of like with like Blood and Honey. Like I felt like they sat down and they thought, how can we do this? Like how can we make
Attempt.
this
Yeah.
into something?
Yeah, because like
Uh,
this movie at least attempted a story.
yeah, yeah.
It wasn't just like the Mousetrap movie that we watched, where
I, right,
they're
right.
like, oh, we're a couple kids in a arcade that's locked. No way one of these chairs could break down the window glass so we can escape. Oh man. Yeah, no, I think that's where I was like, okay, it felt like they at least took time.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, and it still was Christmas themed. It was still like this. The Grinch hates Christmas. So like, I'm like, it worked, and for like a shoestring budget, I mean, like they did a lot with what they had.
Yeah. And
Um,
it was nice that they like left room for if like, hey, we could possibly do sequel, baby.
right, right. So this came out a year before Blood and Honey. I feel almost like if this had come out the Christmas following,
Oh,
it would have really kind of hit a bigger audience.
yeah, because then people were like, well, let's look for other like schlock like Blood and Honey.
Right, because especially like once they announced the Pooniverse of horror movies in the future, people were looking, and all of a sudden it was like, let's go see Screamboat Willie. And I think the director of
Yeah.
this is the same person who did Screamboat Willie,
Oh,
or
okay.
there's a writer, that
Yeah.
same writer. There's some tie in there.
Yeah, that would make sense because like at least both of those movies they, tried to make an attempt.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, I just like my only other wish is like I wish they had gotten just like a washed up actor, like one that's like pretty like notable,
Uh,
like he's
Wait,
been in a
I
bunch of
always
full moon stuff or something like that.
right. I always appreciate that when they have a somebody who was horror name, even if it was
Yeah,
a horror name 30 years ago, and
yeah.
they're the guy behind the bar, or have her like her
Like,
dad is
yeah.
yeah.
Like they could have had Doc be the act what was it the actor that played Dollman.
Right,
Like
right.
same age, I think they're like around. They're probably around the same age now. But yeah, you just gotta do like just like to really give your indie horror film like some legs. You get like a old B movie legend.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
like he doesn't really work anymore. But you're like, hey, can we contact you or contract you for 2 days? And you're like, well, how much is it, man? 10,000. Okay. 10,000 for 10 minutes of screen time is 10,000. It's 1,000 a minute. I thought that. And you know what though? Like, don't take me and Colby's word for it. We're not like the encyclopedia of B movie horror actors.
Ish.
Yeah, we have our pockets.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, but you were saying that like Tony Todd, the guy who was in the Candyman.
Yeah,
I feel like he was a big name, and I feel like he knew that like he wasn't able, like when he got older, and R.I.P. to him,
Yes, sir.
classic. But as he got older, he was like, I can't play any big parts anymore. But I will be the guy who says like I'll be the guy who's the silent Bob who just says like that like 3 really important lines that change the pace of the movie in like every horror movie that somebody asked me to. He made so many cameos. It was great. I used to always love.
Yeah, what's crazy though is like I feel like if Tony Todd wanted to step out and do other things, he has like the voice and he has the stature of just being like that we need a like old grizzled character or like an old mentor or like a harbinger for this movie that's just gonna warn the kids or something.
Right.
He could have, and I feel like I kind of like maybe I'm not really giving it a chance, but I need to like look at his filmography. Maybe he did a drama. It would have been awesome to see Tony Todd doing like a freaking like what's that one chess movie?
Oh, right, like Queen's Gambit or something, you know, where
you put him in like old timey stuff.
Yeah,
I think he would have killed those roles. You know, oh gosh, like it would have been, like, or even like, oh man, if he was, I think he was alive for like Sinners, like when they were doing it.
Right.
Yeah, he could have been like an old grizzled vampire hunter or something. And he's
God, totally.
because his voice commands so much attention.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not sad that his big legacy is Candyman and the Final Destination movies, because I think like Candyman is a classic. That is like a gothic romantic horror.
Totally.
You know, and then the Final Destination movies are complete schlock, but enjoyable schlock. Yeah. Oh man, but yeah, we're coming up to our hour, so I'm gonna go ahead and thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check all of our other months down below, where we have our holiday themed months of Christmas and Halloween, and then we have a bunch of quirky little months out there for you. So if you've thought about it, we probably have a month for it. So definitely check out our our catalog. But we do our review. Oh, sorry.
And we do have a month of
public domain,
children's classic public domain. Yeah.
Yeah. But we do our reviews in 4 different sections. We have streaming, DVD, Blu-ray, and the Ultimate Box Collection. Kobe, where are you at?
I love this movie. This is I loved like cheesy bad movies that know they're cheesy bad movies that are do the very best they can with what they've got, and this is like exactly like hits. Right. I watch this at like every Christmas. I'll make people watch this. Well, I'll throw it on randomly, and people are like, put on a Christmas movie, and not if there's like little kids, obviously. But yeah, I'll throw this on, and like people will be taken back. They'll be like, oh, they did a different Grinch movie. I don't think I've seen this one. Oh, whoa, somebody's dying.
This is not the Jim Carrey movie. Yeah. You play this movie for kids, and then right after that, your friend comes in a Grinch outfit to really... He's like, why did the kids... I know I was scary, but geez. And then he sees it on the TV like, God, Kobe. Oh, my God. So you going Blu-ray with this one?
Oh, I'm going Blu-ray. Yeah.
You know what? Like, if it has like a bunch of special features, I would probably go Blu-ray too. Just to show the kills that they didn't put in the movie or something like that.
I guess originally it was made as a spoof trailer. Like, what if the Grinch was, and it got enough like viral backing that they were like, oh, okay, well, people are interested. Let's make it a real movie.
Oh, it's like the Deadpool trailer.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. But no, yeah, go ahead. Thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check all of our links down below where we have all of our social medias.
Yeah, we got our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, YouTube. We're out there all over the place. like us and share us and make comments and
Yeah, even
talk
if they're
to
mean
us.
ones, I guess. But thank you guys for joining us. My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check it, it does the theme music. It does the Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. It's on our album Music Podcast 3, and the Bandcamp is down below.
Finch!